and welcome back to Driver's Room 2 for Tuesday. The action this week will be brought to you from the Red Bull Ring. Short track version for the sprint race, full track for the feature race. Before we head to the grid, you may remember we're doing a livery competition. At the last round, it was chocolate bars as the theme, and the winner was Rocker with this Reese's Chews livery. Very clean lines. You can see he spent a bit of time getting it right. It might look simple, but the attention's in the detail and it just works perfectly. There were quite a few contenders, but this one just stood out that little bit more. This week's theme is video games, and believe me, you will be blown away by some of these liveries that the guys have done. Absolutely superb. It's going to be difficult to pick a winner. So let's get to it. Let's see how the guys qualified. Now, before we make our way down the grid, I'll give you a quick rundown of the top 5. So we have Gary with 185 points, Jack with 160, Stephen with 118, Mongino with 105, and Mr. Sean with 78 points. So let's take a look at these liveries and where everybody qualified. So here's ZFix Jack on pole, running a Mario's Brothers livery, which was completed by Kamaru. Kamaru is also running this livery, so it may get a bit confusing in the commentary. In second, we have Too Fast For You with a Tomb Raider. It's a really nice looking livery there. Lovers of GTA will like what Mongino's done in third place with Sprunk. In fourth, we have DeGarrett running the Mazda Sky Active livery. In fifth, we have Semicolon. I'd like to give a special mention to Semicolon because each week his liveries are getting better. He's only just started doing them, but I think you'll agree this is a very tidy, clean livery. A little bit envious because I can't do them. We've got JC in sixth with a Resident Evil, and that's got to be a contender this week, hasn't it? As has this from Psycho Killer in seventh place. Doesn't need any introduction, that one. And we have Mr. Sean in eighth with a Fallout, and this was actually completed by Jules. We have Dowlers in ninth with Minecraft. I also believe Dowlers is under instruction from the team manager to keep his microphone off this week. We've got Ben in 10th, and you've just got to love flames on a car. Never gets old. We've got Murkoff in 11th. A one for the Ghost Recon fans there. Rocker in 12th with Duck Hunt. We have Cafe in 13th with Tenchu, and a very understated livery there that's very effective. And as I said, here's Kim in 14th place, also running the Mario Brothers livery that he designed himself. So let's get the race started and see how they look scraping panels. There we go, the revs are riding. And oh, there's a few made a bit of a jump start. There's 4, 5, maybe. Up into turn 1. Let's see, it's looking a bit crowded there. Let's see what we've got. 4, 5, 6 abreast. Excellent. And have they made it all through? Yes, every single one of them. Brilliant. This is what makes DRTT brilliant. 6 abreast into turn 1. Speechless. Well, clearly not. But anyway, let's get back to the racing. So we're on board with Murkoff at the moment. And yes, he's holding 7th. Everyone's just finding the groove at the minute. It's going to get a little bit cosy into the second last turn here. We've got Mongino and Rocker side by side. There you go, Rocker's on the outside. Oh no, Mongino's on the outside, sorry. Is he going to cut back in on Rocker? Nope, line astern up the front. Now let's watch the start from JC. Let's see what happened. Well, all the lights are out. Ah, looks like Mungino got a bit of a jump. That triggered a bit of a chain reaction. Then a few jumped in. And then we've got, coming up to turn 1, we've got JC right in the middle of 6 here. Looks like he's the only one who thought that might be a bit of a problem, so he broke a bit earlier. But no, everyone managed to get through. And that's what happened. Let's have a look from another view. This time we're on board with De Garrett. So yeah, it looks like first, third and fourth all got a bit of a jump there. And just watch De Garrett get swamped here. Look at them all coming round. Yeah, he's managed to hold it together there. And he's come out the corner in 9th, dropped 10th, 11th. He's just falling backwards. He's probably, at this point, he's watching Jack get away from him and might see that points gap closing. Right, now back with the leader. End of lap 1. Got himself a bit of a cushion to Jack in 2nd. He's got Cole on behind him and Psycho Killer in 4th. Looks like Psycho Killer's going to be wanting to make a move fairly soon. But he's just settled into 4th at the moment. Just watching it play out. And we've got a whole bunch of cars coming round together there. Led by Mungino. Got Cafe right behind him. And Kim. We've got 2 abreast there with De Garrett and Kim. And De Garrett's taking it around the outside. Yeah, he'll be wanting to make up from that bad start. Around to start lap 3. See how it goes into turn 1. And De Garrett's looked like Mungino went off to the scenery there. Let's go back and have a look what happened. So we'll follow De Garrett here. So we've got Mungino on the left, Cafe on the right, coming up to turn 1. Cafe's got himself in a strong position there to make the pass. De Garrett looks like he's eyeing up the hole that he's going to leave. Yes, Mungino just went to slot in behind Cafe and found a De Garrett sized car in his way, and he just turned out of it and ended up going wide. Looks like it may have cost him more than just the 1 position though. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's ended up dropping. Oh, he's dropped all the way to 13th, and now he's got JC all over him as well. Let's see, is he going to be able to hold off that position? Insult to injury, it looks like he's got a penalty off that turn 1 as well, where the game thought that avoiding an incident was worthy of a penalty. Well, maybe it'll get fixed at some point, but hey ho. So anyway, we go starting the 4th lap in final position. See how the leader's getting on. No, Jack's all over him now. Got a good run out of turn 1, and he's just tucked it up the inside. Jack, we want to secure this first place after dropping points at the last round with a retirement. And in 3rd we've got Semicolon. 4th Psycho Killer still shadowing him. Mr. Sean in a good faith. Dowler's 6th. De Garrett's up to 7th now. They'll be trying to close that gap down. Murkoff in 8th. Really does look like a nice livery out on the track, that one. That's very nice. Then we've got Kim in 9th with his Mario Brothers. Rocker using as much of the track as possible. In 11th, Cafe. Oh, making a move on him. He must have lost some traction out of that last turn. Cafe's got the better of him there. Is he going for a move on Ben as well? He's not wasting any time at all, Cafe. Just taking every opportunity he can. Picking places off left and right. Some nice driving there. So we're on board with Semicolon here with Psycho Killer right behind him. Into turn 1. Oh, he's drifted a little bit wide there. Looks like Psycho Killer's got a good run out of that turn. Up the inside. He's got the move done before he even gets to turn 2. And Semicolon's just touched the grass. And, yep, that barrier's not moving for anybody. So it looks like he's losing a couple more positions here. DeGarrett's going to get through as well. Yeah, that was quite painful for Semicolon there. Running a good race up to that point, but yep, still plenty of time to go. Can get those places back. So coming into the final turn, we're with DeGarrett. Got a nice line out of there. Looks like Dowlers might have just lost a little bit of speed. Yes, DeGarrett's going to little bluff to the outside, but turn back onto the inside. Got a full car up, and Dowler's just conceded the place, hopefully to get a cut back on him at turn 1. But no, DeGarrett's got that covered off straight away. So into turn 2, just secures the position. And let's see if he can close that gap down to Mr. Sean. He's not far ahead at this point. We'll come back to that shortly, but we'll have a look down the field now. So there's Dowlers, Semicolon. We've got Murkoff, Cafe, Ben, Mongino. Oh, and then we've got a 3-car battle for 12th with Kim, Rocker and JC. There's Kim, got a good drive out the last turn. Has he done enough? Yeah, it looks like he's just done enough to secure it up to turn 1. Let's see what JC can do out of here. See if he can get a good drive out and try and take him for turn 2. Oh, he's drifted wide. Oh, sorry, that was Rocker. JC's just watching from behind, ready to pick up any pieces. And has he got the move on Rocker done? Nope. Now is he going to cut back here and just try and line him up into the last 2 turns? Rocker looks like he might have done enough, but JC's not giving up. Yeah, he's got him on the inside. There we are. Nice move. Nice clean driving. Back onto the start-finish straight. At 55 seconds a lap, you've really got to keep your eye open for the... watch where the action's happening. So let's have a look further up. Got Mongino coming around the outside of Ben. Pulled that off, and then further ahead we've got Dowlers on Semicolon. Looks like he's putting quite a bit of pressure on him, forcing him out a bit wide there, probably watching his mirrors. Let's see, we're going to get some action down the straight. This last turn's really critical. It's one of the best overtaking places coming into turn 1, so you've really got to nail that last corner. Garrett's closed the gap somewhat on Mr. Sean there. We'll just see if he can close it further. Mr. Sean taking some nice lines through there, doing everything he can just to keep DeGarrett behind him. It's Psycho Killer closing up on Too Fast For You now. Jack's away off in the distance there. Oh, and DeGarrett's all over the back of Mr. Sean here. He must have got a really good drive out the last turn. On the inside again. Yes, it's not a particularly favourable spot to pass when you're doing the full circuit, because you've got a massive straight and the other person's just going to come back at you. But on this shorter circuit, the sprint up to turn 2 doesn't really give the opportunity to come back at you, especially if you close the inside line off. But yeah, Mr. Sean's going to try and secure 5th place, I think, because DeGarrett's on a mission. What we got going on here? A little bit of a gap grown between Psycho Killer and Too Fast For You. But we've seen how quickly that can change. Semicolon. With a few drivers in hot pursuit, it would appear. Dowlers, Murkoff, Cafe, Mungino, Ben, and then a little bit of a gap to Kim and JC. So we've got Jack up front, accumulating a few penalties there. I'm sure he'll be able to burn them off in no time at all. And as he doesn't have anyone in front of him, there's no urgency to burn them off, because it's the rule in this league is if you've got a penalty you can't overtake anybody. So being in first, there isn't anyone to overtake. So on to the start finish straight again. Now coming on to lap 14, we're with Murkoff. He's got his eyes set on Dowlers there, coming up to turn 1. He's later on the brakes, and Dowlers has got a little bit out of shape there. Murkoff takes him around the outside. Looks like Mungino fancies a bit of this as well. Yeah, it's giving him the opportunity to get right on the back of Dowlers. See, the final turns. So you're going to get a good run on him down the start-finish straight. Yeah, and he's passed. Dowlers must have made a mistake there at the last turn. Missed a gear or something. Mungino just went sailing by. Is this giving Cafe the opportunity now? Seems like Dowlers is having a few issues. He's just getting picked off. Every lap he's losing a position now. And Cafe made that look easy. Let's see, is he losing any time still, or he seems to have rectified his problem? Yeah, Dowlers is back on it. And Ben's just watching all this from behind them. JC 12th there, with absolutely another stunning livery. Look at that, the amount of time and effort he must have put into creating that. Right, back with Jack. Still hasn't managed to lose any penalty. I think he's increased his penalty, if anything. Looks like there's some action a little bit further back. Yes, Dowlers is still with Cafe. It's not letting him get away. Whatever the problem was with Dowlers, he seems to have rectified it now. Of course, with him having the ban from the crew chief of using his microphone, he's not going to be able to relay any information back to the pits. There we go. Has he got a run on him? No, he's tucked him back in. It's going to be a brave move up the inside of Cafe. Is he putting up? Cafe's having none of that. Things are getting a little bit closer now. Cycle Killer getting right up behind him. Right behind Too Fast For You. Just trying to apply the pressure. And again, two more liveries there. I shudder to think how long it took to put them spots on that car. I honestly don't know if they do them individually or whether it's like a strip of them. I don't know, but it looks amazing. Too Fast For You going with I think it's a Laura Croft. Yes, that's another absolutely fantastic look. They've really pulled out all the stops this week, the lads doing these liveries. They've just raised the game. Can't wait to see what they've got for next week. Looks like we've got a few battles a little bit further back. Got Mungino crawling all over the back of Murkoff now. Both getting a good run out the last turn. Oh, someone going wide there. Oh, and Cafe's picked up a place into 9th. So Dowler's, yeah, pressure got too much for him in the end and he went wide. Unless he, oh, actually, Dowler's was behind him. So let's see how he managed to get into a position. Let's see how he managed to get up to 9th and then lose it again. So it was at the start of lap 18. He tried the same move again. This time Cafe tried to close it off, but he slowed down too much. Dowler's had too much of his car alongside and took the position. Cafe not being one to give up, just stuck with him through the next set of turns, kept his lines tighter. Dowler's looks like he's pulled a little bit of a gap at this point. Into the second last turn. Using all the curb. Into the last turn and Dowler's has gone wide, losing some traction. And Cafe just takes it back. Let's see how it affects Dowler's tyres into turn 1. Yeah, Cafe's kept the same distance there. There's only a few minutes left of this race. Let's see if there's any other battles anywhere on the field. Coming up to turn 1. Murkoff goes tight. Mongino takes a wide line in. Gets a good drive. It's all over the back of Murkoff. And Murkoff goes too deep, opening the door. And Mongino just goes up the inside, says thanks very much. Back round, going round to start lap 19. And these are the closest cars to each other. To Garrett really bearing down on Psycho Killer. He's closed a huge gap there. Right, we're on board with the Garrett. He's closing Psycho Killer. Psycho Killer has a penalty to burn off, as does the Garrett. Now, as long as they're racing, he can't overtake. So the Garrett's just backed off there, burnt a little bit of his penalty, because he's not allowed to pass another vehicle whilst he's got a penalty. But he's clearly showing some extra pace here. So again, this is going to be frustrating. He's catching Psycho Killer. He can't pass him. He's trying to burn off a bit more penalty. Psycho Killer also burning off some penalty there. He's trying to burn a bit there. Nope, he's unghosted. So whilst they're racing, Psycho Killer's got the advantage here. He doesn't have to worry about De Garrett, because De Garrett can't pass him. But he does have a penalty as well. So he does need to burn that penalty off, and it's larger than De Garrett's. So this is a bit of a conundrum for him. So coming out the start finish, De Garrett's clearly quicker. Psycho Killer's ushering him to the right, but yeah, a little bit of confusion there. De Garrett not realising that he was allowed to actually overtake Psycho Killer, because Psycho was burning a penalty. Just because another driver is doesn't mean you have to, so you can overtake in them circumstances. So a little bit of confusion. And that confusion has allowed Mr. Sean to come back at them. So Mr. Sean's come past Psycho Killer, took full advantage of that penalty system, the penalty burn system. So he's worked himself up into a nice 4th place. So we'll get into this. Here's Too Fast For You about to cross the line. And we've got some drivers there just finishing. So Too Fast For You finished. The Garrett's going to take 3rd. Mr. Sean 4th. Psycho Killer 5th. Semicolon burning off his penalty. He's gonna rue that. He's just handed the place to Mongino. He finishes 7th, Murkoff 8th. Cafe's coming 9th. Dowler's 10th. Ben in 11th. And we'll just watch Jack finish his lap. Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake by Semicolon, because I think he had more than 2-second lead on Mongino, so he might as well have crossed the line with his penalty on and kept his position. But burning it so early in the straight as well, give Mongino the run on him. So here comes Jack. Congratulations. Cross the finish line for another win. Bit of a false start at the beginning there, so he did have to work for it, but once he was in front, there was no keeping up with him. Second place goes to Too Fast For You. He's shown in previous races that he's got the speed to be up there, but a little mistake or a little bit of misfortune has kept him off, so hopefully we'll see some more good performances from him. In third place, De Gerrit. He'll be a little bit disappointed with this. The false start hurt him more than Jack. Got engulfed by the pack. Next race, the feature race, maybe he'll make up for it, but that gap is now closed with Jack taking the win. So, as I say, the feature race is coming up. It's the Red Bull Ring full circuit in the Group 3s. Could be exciting, we'll have to see. Turns 1 and 2, could by the seat of the pants action, I should think. And also, well done to Rocker for winning the livery competition from last week. So, don't forget to get your votes in on this week's. And I'll see you at the next round. Bye now.